My name is Amina, and this is my story. I grew up in a small village where life moved slowly and traditions were followed like sacred rules. I'm 19 years old now, and from the time I was little, I knew what was expected of me. My parents are good people, simple, kind, and deeply rooted in their culture. They worked hard every day and raised me with values of respect, faith, and modesty. But there was always a quiet part of me that wondered if marriage would ever feel like love or if it would only ever be a duty. I did not dream of fairy tales. I just wanted to feel safe, to feel known, to be treated like more than a responsibility. When my parents arranged my marriage to a man named Cream, I did not fight. I did not cry. I told myself this was my path and I would walk it with grace. I had never seen him before. I only heard good things that he was responsible, educated, polite. My mother said he was a decent man, and I held on to that perhaps like a rope in the dark. The week before the wedding passed like a blur songs, laughter, the smell of roses and rice. Everyone was excited, everyone smiled, but deep inside I felt like a leaf caught in a river, floating toward something I could not see. On the wedding day, I wore a plain gold dress with embroidery so delicate it looked like sunlight. My hands were covered in henna, my lips painted softly, my hair tied with jasmine. They said I looked beautiful, but I did not feel like myself. I felt like someone performing a role on a stage. I hugged my parents tightly before leaving. My mother whispered a prayer in my ear, and my father touched my head with his trembling hands. I don't know when I'd be in their arms again. His home was quiet and large, filled with warm lights and unfamiliar faces. His mother welcomed me with a smile, and his younger sister hugged me gently. They seemed kind, but none of that eased that note in my chest. When the guests finally left and the house grew still, someone told me to go to the room. I walked slowly, my heart beating in my throat. The door opened, it smelled of sandalwood and something sweet. The bed was decorated with flowers and the lights were low. I stepped inside, barely breathing, and sat on the edge of the bed. My hands were cold, my mouth dry, my eyes stared on the floor. A few minutes later, the door opened again. I did not look up. I knew it was him, my husband. He walked in softly, not rushing, and closed the door behind him. I felt the bed dip slightly as he sat a few feet away. The silence was heavy. Then he spoke. Amina, he said, gently, I don't want to scare you. We don't have to do anything tonight. I just want us to talk, if that's okay. His voice surprised me. It was not firm or commanding. It was soft, uncertain, like someone speaking to a bird resting on his shoulder. I looked up slowly. He smiled, not boldly but kindly. His eyes looked nervous too. That made me something shift inside me. He did not reach for me. Instead, he handed me a glass of water. Here, he said, you have had a long day. I took it. Our fingers touched briefly, and that touch felt like a tiny jolt enough to remind me I was still real, still here. I whispered, thank you. He smiled again, a little wider this time. Then he started talking about small things, about how he was more scared than I was, about how he changed his shirt 3 times before coming in. He told me his cousin gave him so much advice and then vanished when he tried to follow it. I laughed softly. I could not help it, and that laugh it felt like sunlight finding a crack in a wall. He relaxed a little. I did too. Minutes passed. The space between us remained, but the fear slowly thinned. He never moved closer without asking. Every time he wanted to say something more personal, he paused to see if I was okay. Then he asked, may I hold your hand? I looked at him. His eyes were not pleading, they were patient. I nodded barely. He reached out, gently, like he was picking up something fragile. His hand wrapped around mine, warm, steady, not heavy. He did not pull, he just held it like it mattered. I felt something settle in my chest. He said, we don't have to rush anything. We have time. I want us to build this together, not force it. My throat tightened. No one had said anything like that to me before, not even close. I blinked back tears. One slid down my cheek before I could stop it. He noticed, but did not ask why. He just reached up and wiped it away gently, without pressure, without judgment. Then, with quiet grace, he leaned forward and kissed my forehead. That kiss did not feel like a beginning of something physical. It felt like the beginning of something emotional. A promise in silence. He whispered, let this be our start, not with fear, but with respect. I did not know what to say. I only nodded. That night, we did not turn off the lights. He asked me if I preferred them on, and I said yes. He did not question it. He just made sure the room stayed softly light. He lay beside me close enough to feel, but not too close to invade. His eyes stared on the ceiling, mine did too. There was no awareness, only peace. After a while, he asked, do you want to tell me something about yourself? No one had asked that in weeks. Everyone had been telling me what to do, what wear, what too easy, what to feel, but he asked, so I told him. I told him how I used to draw flowers in the corners of my notebooks, how I always burned toast but still tried to cook, how I once ran into a wall while trying to chase my cat. He laughed, not mockingly, but with delight. Then he shared too about how he once got lost on his own street as a child, about how he secretly still watches cartoons on lazy Sundays, about how he worries about being a good husband more than anything else. I listened, I smiled. The distance between us was not just shrinking, it was being replaced with something soft. Then he asked, "May I hold you?" "Only if you want." I paused, then nodded. He moved slowly, wrapping an arm around me. I rested my head on his chest, his heartbeat slow, calm like an anchor. His head did not wander. It rested gently on my back, moving softly like a lullaby. "I want you to know," he whispered, "tonight is not about roles. It's about comfort, about being human. I don't want to take from you. I want to build with you." I did not respond with words. I only closed my eyes. A tear slipped out again, but this time it was not sadness. It was relief, gratitude, safety. Then, slowly, I kissed his cheek. He did not move. He just smiled. "Can I kiss you?" he asked. "Yes," I whispered. His lips met mine softly. No rush, no fire, just warmth. We kissed slowly, like we were learning a new language together. There were pauses, jiggles, bumps of noses, but it was perfect. Each time he asked, "Is this okay?" I answered honestly, and every yes felt like a piece of my heart opening. Eventually, we slept wrapped in calm. The sun rose quietly. I woke up in his arms. He was already watching me. "Good morning," he said. "Good morning," I whispered back. No rush, no pressure, just kindness. He brushed a strand of hair from my face and said, "You looked peaceful." I smiled. We talked about little things, tea, socks, forgotten dreams. Then he asked, "Did you feel safe last night?" I looked at him. That question, it was everything. "Yes," I said. "I felt safe." He kissed my forehead again. "That's all I ever wanted." We got up. He showed me around, helped me find my way in this new place. His mother asked how the night was. I just said it was kind, and somehow that was enough. Weeks passed, love grew slowly like morning light through curtains. He stayed gentle, he stayed open. We shared fears, laughter, stories, and silence. One night, I asked, "Were you sacred too?" He nodded. More than you know. That made me cry again. The kind of tears that heal, not harm. Love did not happen in a rush. It happened in respect, in care, in waiting. And now, when people ask about my first night, I don't look down. I say, it was soft. It was sacred because that's what love should feel like. No, not like a test, not like a duty, but like coming home to someone who sees you not as a something to calm, but as someone to honor.